The Chiefs, Cowboys, Falcons, and Jets are all on a bye. So which wide receiver should you start in Week 10? Well, SI's fantasy analyst Michael Fabiano is here with that insight. Fabs, who are the receivers that you like this week?
Yeah, get yourself a cup of Cooper this week. Cooper Kupp, and you may think this is obvious. Cooper Kupp is 24th in fantasy points among wide receivers and 27th in points per game. So he hasn't been great, but this is a great spot both for Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods against Seattle. They've given up the most fantasy points to wide receivers, and more to the point, in terms of Kupp, Seattle's allowed an average of 9 catches and 123 yards per game to the slot. So Cooper Kupp, despite the fact that he hasn't been all that great this season, is a virtual must start. And then Travis Fulgam, maybe the top waiver wire ad in fantasy football among wide receivers. He's averaged more than 20 fantasy points since week 5. He leads the Eagles wide receivers in snaps, routes run, targets, catches. He's been tremendous. He's got the Giants this week. The last time he played the Giants, he had 11 targets. New York has allowed 9 touchdowns and the 9th most fantasy points to wide receivers. So Travis Fulgam, coming off a bye, should be back in your starting lineup.
Other receivers to start this week are Brandon Cooks, who faces the Browns, and Deontay Johnson versus the Bengals. But Fabs, which receivers would just be better off with a seat on your bench for Week 10?
So this guy burned me last week, DJ Chark. Yeah, he had that one huge catch with Jake Luton throwing him the football, right? But I have a fear of Jair Alexander. So keep in mind, Alexander had a concussion last week, but that was on a Thursday night game. If he is active this week, Chark loses a lot of his luster because Alexander has been putting a stop to every wide receiver in terms of their fantasy production this season. If Alexander is inactive, then I would play DJ Chark. So keep tabs on Alexander's status. And then Devonta Parker. He had 7 targets last week and a 25% target share. That's pretty good. A lot of people may have to play him this week, but the Chargers defense has allowed just 4 touchdowns and the 7th fewest fantasy points to wide receivers. And not a single receiver has scored more than 15 fantasy points against them on outside routes. And that's where Parker runs most of his routes. So Devonta Parker is a bit of a fade for me this week.
Yeah, not a good matchup. Well, also on your sit-on list is Marvin Jones and Marquise Brown. Fabs, as always, appreciate your insight in you joining me. For more of Sports Illustrated's award-winning weekly player rankings, get your membership to SI Fantasy Plus for just $14.99 a month.